Senator Menendez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this question may be more for Chairman King on the Ten Commandments. Does the bill speak to how the schools receive them? Who do they get delivered to campuses, central office? How does the mechanics of that work, just for safety purposes, that sort of thing?
Well, for safety purposes, I hadn't thought of. I mean, I presume they would just be going through whatever type of security protocols the schools has for any type of interaction or delivery. But so it doesn't mandate that the schools spend money on them. It does say the schools can spend their own money, but it also says that if they're donated, they're to receive those. But it's very prescriptive on what it's to say and the size of it and the size of the font so that it can be readable across the classroom. And we also just didn't want anyone playing games with it and adding in additional words or things like that.
Right.
After all, it kind of was written in stone. Sorry, somebody told me that the other day. So. Thought that was cute. I heard it.
Yeah. Lightning struck the rock. Yeah. They broke in half. Yeah. I wanted to thank you for the dialogue you had with Senator Middleton on the Establishment Clause, and because that's a concern that I have, that one of the biggest concerns I have is that it gives the appearance that we're as the government, the state government, establishing in our public schools, we're choosing a particular faith that is the endorsed faith. And so my fear is that we alienate children of different faiths and teachers of different faiths and others, and I don't feel that that's appropriate. I think that we, obviously I believe in God. I was raised, my parents a certain way, and I don't have a problem with any of the things you've said in terms of my choices. What I don't want to do is impose them on other people, and that's a concern that I have. That's one of the fears that I have, that we're taking our public schools and maybe creating a Sunday school environment, if you will.
Yeah, and if you'll allow me to respond to that, I think first of all, the Ten Commandments are prominently held in high esteem in multiple religions. So I don't think just by placing the Ten Commandments on the walls, you're picking one religion over another. And so I think that helps against the Establishment Clause concerns, because even if it's not Judaism or Christianity, many other faiths have incorporated several of the Ten Commandments, if not a lot of the Ten Commandments, into their faith tenets as well. So I feel like that guards against that. Secondly, again, it's the reason it would pass constitutional muster is because it's the history and tradition of America. And so when you're looking at it, it's not so much if a child asks about, hey, what about this tenet or what about this principle? It's not so much a religious discussion as that's because our country was founded upon the principles that were embedded in the Ten Commandments. And we can see that as we move from the Ten Commandments to Roman law, to German law, to the English common law, to Blackstone's commentary, to what our founding fathers put in there. You can trace that lineage. And so it really does have that history and tradition feel to it. So I understand the concern. And having served with you, I know you're sincere and genuine. It's not just something just you're contemplating. It's something you feel very deeply, and I appreciate that you're thinking hard about these things. But I do think, just from a purely legal perspective, from the establishment argument, there's so much to those Ten Commandments that it would be hard to say you're trying to establish one religion, since it's so ubiquitous in many faiths.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Members, any other questions? Appreciate you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Sure good to see you.
Good to see you.